Good afternoon and welcome to the latest instalment of the MK Web MK Dons podcast with myself, Dan Palmer. Hello, and Scott Kirk.
Hello there.
How's it going, mate?
Yeah, not too bad, Jay. Yourself?
Yeah, very well, thanks. We're all happy. We've had a trip home from a venue up north on a Tuesday night, and for the first time in what seems like ages, we've made that trip happy. A 2-1 victory over Oldham.
Yeah, absolutely.
A good evening for the club.
Yeah, really good. I think it might have been Colchester last March, I was told, that it was the last midweek win or last midweek away win or something like that.
Nearly an entire year there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the midweek form's been absolutely abysmal, and it's that Carlisle trip. That was a long trip back a few weeks ago, so it's been really nice just to I didn't go to Crewe, but that'll have been a long trip back as well. So I think the midweek form was reflected in the number of fans that were there. There were only 54 there, and you can't really blame fans for not wanting to go on these long trips.
Yeah.
And they don't usually perform, but they were really good on Tuesday night. Jordan Spence and Anthony Cade once again solid as a rock at the back. Really nice to see George Baldock score as well, his first goal.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
They were buzzing about that as well, which is really nice to see. And Lewington was obviously solid as he usually is. So, but yeah, the trip back it seemed to fly by after a win, which we're not used to really. So it was not a game going away because they played them 10 days ago as well. A week last Saturday. So 10 days from the time, obviously a week last Saturday now. So. So it was quite interesting really. It was like you recognised all the players, you remembered them all, and Charles McDonald didn't start at stadiummk, and of course he did on Tuesday night, and obviously got the token ex-player goal, didn't he? So but it was a really nice trip back anyway. Quite a nice change to get a win out of a midweek game.
Interesting to see that Carl Robinson has said the preparation for the game was changed with going up on the train, the night before, and then a night stay in a hotel, presumably, which sounds like the players are more refreshed, and maybe they've got a new routine for these away games now. But it sounds like one which will mean that Pete will have to dip into his pockets and pay for more overnight stays. But if you're getting 3 points, then that's a price worth paying, surely. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, you look at how many midweek games there are in a season, away midweek games in a season. Even if there's 3 or 4, if you're losing every single one of them, you're not going to get promoted, which is the ultimate ambition for Dons, to get out of this league.
Yeah.
And you've got to, as far as I'm concerned, you cannot get the right preparation if you've got a 4-hour, 5-hour, 6-hour journey on the same day. It's just impossible.
No.
Your legs are going to, everyone's been in a car for a long journey. Your legs are going to seize up a bit. And when you don't, but we're not professional footballers, when that happens and you're a professional footballer, that can't be good at all. So it's not ideal financially to have to pay for it, but it's got to be, as you just said there, it's got to be worth its weight in gold if you're getting 3 points. And the Dons were really good on Tuesday night. They really were. It was one of those in the second half they were holding on, but you kind of expected that a little bit, just with that sort of. They don't have the midweek momentum, so it needs that win, So you're kind of expecting that. Defence held really firm. George Baldock's goal was lovely. Isaac McLeod took his chance when Oldham made the mistake at the back, And it was a good midweek away performance, Didn't set the world alight by all means, but got a win away from home in the midweek, and that was just vital to do on Tuesday night. Yeah. I wasn't expecting a win at all. Everybody expected a defeat, I think. And they got the win surprise. They have a habit of doing that, though, I think, Dons. They'll do what you don't expect them to do. They'll do it for me anyway. Maybe I'm just not very good at the job. But
yeah, I mean, I love wins like that where you sort of demonstrate. It's obviously great to win 4-5-0, but when you demonstrate great attacking prowess, like they did in the first half, to get a couple of goals. Yeah. And then it sort of switches around and the defence needs to perform as well, definitely. Like they did to keep Oldham out.
And David Martin needed a good game as well after that mistake against Bradford, and he claimed every ball that came in, and he looked solid again. So that was a bit of a relief, I think, for everyone. Yeah, because it could have gone the other way. That can something like that can affect you, can't it? But it's obviously not affected him, which was a real relief, I think.
So Oldham not the happiest of hunting grounds for Dons. I remember there was a great win 2 or 3 seasons ago when the playoff place had already been secured, so a few of the youngsters came out and they still managed to win 2-1. But the next 2 games have been absolutely dreadful at Boundary Park. speaking of that mistake David Martin made against Bradford, it would have been difficult for him to go to Oldham because he made a similar bad mistake there when he sort of slipped on the grass trying to claim a long ball, and that gifted Oldham a goal much in the same way that Bradford were gifted a goal on Saturday. So that was great for him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Don's just tend, when the pressure's off, when you don't expect them to win, they seem to flourish in those conditions, and it's almost like we need to try and create those conditions. Like if we just don't expect them to do anything, they seem to do better. Look at the Wolves win. Look at the Walsall win. Nobody was expecting that at all. Yeah, and they got two cracking wins there, and the same with Oldham. So it's almost like that expectation needs to be lifted off them. Sheffield United at home. Sheffield United are on a bit of a resurgence now. So I can't really call Saturday now because every time you do try and call it, the opposite happens. So that's what I found with Dons anyway this season. So.
Is it too late for the playoffs now? Six points adrift.
I think it's
just keep hanging on, don't they?
Yeah,
people write them off and then win a game
that's
again.
True. But I kind of want to say yes because then they'll hopefully go on and if you take that pressure off, that's when Dons flourish. So I'm kind of saying. No, they're not going to reach it, in the hope that they do still, because, they seem to flourish under that sort of lack of pressure, really. And if we could all just say now, I hate it when people say games in hand and everything, but Peterborough have got 2 games in hand on Dons, and I know they've got to win those games in hand, but when you're 6 points adrift, you want to be at least played the same number of games, I think. So, to me, it's a little bit too late now. And you look at the running that they've got, the last 3 games of the season, Brentford at home, Rotherham away, Leyton Orient at home, which is about as difficult as it. You couldn't really ask for much more harder, unless the Wolves have still got to play at home as well. There's some real tough games left for them, and of course if they win those games, they're catching them up. But the big teams to play, I think it's a bit too late personally.
We mentioned Charlie McDonald getting his goal ridiculously, the 7th former Don to score against them this season. We've got Ryan Lowe for Tranmere, Sam Baldock, Bristol City, Jabo Abire at Colchester, David Amu and Philippe Moraes as well. Lewis Guy, of course, Carlisle, Amu with Carlisle, Moraes, Stevenage, and Al McDonald as well. It's so they could form a 6-a-side team and have a substitute. It's ridiculous, isn't it?
But I think they must obviously just get up for the games more, If I was a player playing against my old club, I think I'd probably get up for the game a bit more, just to show them what they're missing and stuff like that. So, it's surprising that many have scored, but, you'd normally expect maybe just 1 or 2. So 7's a bit ridiculous, isn't it? But,
I bet Carl's probably wondering why some of his players don't score goals when they return to to their former clubs.
I think he said that actually before a few weeks ago. I think when one of the others scored, I think probably when David Amu scored, for Carlisle, I think he said something like that a few weeks ago actually. So it would be nice. So
absolutely. One factor which might have stopped the playoff push is how small the squad is, but there's a lot of calls for the chairman to put some more money into players. But we do have a couple more loan signings come in, most notably Lionel Cole from Fulham, a player who signed for Fulham from Manchester United on transfer deadline day in January, just under 30 days ago now. Change of boss at Craven Cottage with Moolenstein going, and Felix Magath has come in and has apparently said that Cole is surplus to requirements, and he now finds himself in League One. It's quite a few days for him, but great coup for Dons to get someone of his stature down to this level, and he made his debut against Oldham and looked quite promising.
He looks very promising. He's very quick with his feet, and he wasn't sort of easily shrugged off, if you know what I mean. I think he's only made like 2 senior appearances as a sub, so that's worth bearing in mind. But he looks very, very good. Whilst he wasn't, he didn't. I think there was one ball over the top which he did for Ryan Hall, and that put him through 1-on-1, which was just sublime. He's going to be real exciting, and a really good replacement for Samir Carruthers, who's been absolutely outstanding this season. And to get someone like him in, I think it's really exciting for the rest of the season, and I'm really looking forward to seeing him now, because he could, I expect him to be very good, and I'd like to see him make an assist or two at least over the next few games, because I think he looks like he won't be at Man U for no reason, so he looks like a real prospect, and he shouldn't be at League One for me. Like, he looks like a good Championship player to me, in a similar way that Bamford is now proving. Patrick Bamford's now proving, so I think Dons have really pulled out the bag with him.
Yeah, I think it's a real coup, really. We had a lot of lone players turn up, and they've been young kids just playing in the academies of their clubs. Yeah. But this guy's got a bit of pedigree, if you like. He's scored a couple of goals in the under-21 finals for Man United against Tottenham. Played the League Cup game against Leeds as well. So he's been there and done it. When the rumours of that deal started coming out, if I was a Championship club, I might have been on the phone and just, hang on a minute, we'll have him. We'll have him in the Championship. So
I'm surprised.
Full marks to Carl Robinson for getting that deal through.
I couldn't agree more with that. I mean, I'm surprised that to go from Man U to then a team that's bottom of the Premiership to then League One, it doesn't quite seem right, really. He's not got that bad in a month, has he? Possible. So it's absolute top marks for a great signing, and he could really excite some fans, I think, this season, and I'm really looking forward to seeing him in his next game now.
And we've also brought in Sunmi Odelusi from Bolton, another winger, stroke forward. He's here for a month. I don't usually like these 1 month deals. I've seen players come, don't really do anything, and then leave, and then they're forgotten about. There's been numerous players like that over the last 2 or 3 years at Dons, it seems. Yeah,
I mean, Jordan Spencer's a 1 monther though, and look how well he's doing. So, but I mean, he's a bit different though, because I think he's a little bit older. I think Jordan Spencer and the sort of these youth loans that you tend to see with those 1 month on. And actually, I mean, he looks okay. He came on Saturday against Bradford. He looks okay. Quite hard to judge really how well he did. He didn't score, so that's a problem Dons have had recently, a little bit, not taking the chances. So. Although in fairness to him, I can't really remember many clear-cut chances, clear-cut chances, if I can speak, that Lucy had. So, but he didn't come on Tuesday night, which surprised me. I thought he might have come on there, but Smith came on instead. So I think he's almost like a bit of a squad player, really, to me. He sounds like just to keep the numbers up, because they're struggling to even name a bench at the moment.
Yeah, it was almost as if there's so few players in the squad. He became available as, let's have him just to bolster the ranks.
Well, a bit. I mean, George Baldock was looking to be playing on Tuesday night as well after he hobbled off on on Saturday against Bradford. So, and I mean, they've got to keep resting Dele Alli as well at the age of 17. He can't keep going on, so they desperately need some players. I think this summer's going to be a real sort of change of the guard almost for a lot of the positions. There's a lot of contracts up, and I think we're going to see an entirely new squad, to be honest, by August. What is my sort of gut feeling at the moment? There's just no squad. Desperate need to bring in about 5 players at least, for me, just to bolster the numbers almost.
It'll be interesting to see how much money Pete makes.
It will,
makes available, really.
And I know some money is, which is more than nothing, which is what's been available to Carl for the last few years, I think. I don't recall him spending a fee on anybody, so so if you've got a little bit of money that you'd like to, I mean, money doesn't guarantee success by a long way, but it can help you, as some of the top clubs in the Premiership can prove. So, it needs a bit of development out of the squad, because it's just when you can't even name a bench, it's getting a bit.
But I completely understand what Pete was trying to do with the infrastructure. The trouble with that is, in the meantime, fans are just going to get bored if they just see the team is just mid-table every year, because there's not enough investment in the team. I think you need a bit of balance, a bit more to the squad, a bit less to the stadium. Perhaps it's.
I mean, look what happened at Darlington, and I mean, I'm not suggesting for a minute that the same's going to happen with Dons, but Darlington had that massive stadium, built a huge stadium, thinking that they're going to get, and then they'll go down the leagues. When you're losing, fans go away. The lower the leagues you're in, the more fans go away, and I'm not suggesting for a minute that that'll happen with Dons, but because they're getting 7,500 now, which is great stuff for League One, I think, but. you know, they do need the team now a little bit more, and you know, there's all this. I mean, in our news pages, we're doing a lot about the training ground at the moment. I think there's, I don't know if issues is the right term, but there's one or two things going on with that which might delay it. So let's see a bit of investment in the team, I think, next season, because you know, I mean, at no point really this season have Dons threatened the playoffs. I don't think. Maybe early on in the season, but you can't count August, September if you.
No.
You know, and they've not even been within 6 points of the playoffs. I don't think. I think unless they might have been within 4, but you know, that's not even within a win of the playoffs. You know, so they're not even threatened really. It's just been sort of mid-table mediocrity, very inconsistent, and you know, a bit of investment I think needed. So no doubt about that.
Yeah, and well, just looking ahead to the weekend, very interesting game against Sheffield United, who Don saw them off 1-0 at Bramall Lane earlier this season, which is a very good time to catch United. I think they weren't in the best place at that time.
I think but now Weir was still in charge at that point.
Yeah, he was. So now it's all changed under Nigel Clough. Now 6 wins in a row for the Blades. They're also in the FA Cup quarter-finals and they're at home to Charlton, which they'll see as a very winnable tie. And obviously, if they win that, then they've got a date at Wembley to look forward to.
I mean, obviously, it's a massive shame that Wednesday didn't win that, though. I think everybody would have loved to see the quarter-final.
Steel City derby would have been fantastic, but wasn't to be. Having said that, United haven't had not the best record at Stadium K. They've lost the last 2 visits. 1-0 the first, Alan Smith scoring the only goal and famously celebrating in front of 5,500 travelling fans, and that goal really dented. I think that goal knocked them out of the automatic promotion spots with like 2 or 3 games to go and into the playoffs.
Right.
And then eventually they didn't go up. Huddersfield went up instead. And then last year, Sean Williams with a penalty, very late, 90th minute, I think, to win that 1-0. So
you just get Kay scored in the 90th minute early this season. So footballers a funny habit of just turning round. I get a funny feeling now that they'll probably do the same to Dons. I can't call it on Saturday at all. Obviously, Sheffield United, as you said, we've got that record there, but they've won 6 games in a row. I mean, you know, Dons tend to not win games they should win and win games they shouldn't win, but I don't know if they should win this one now that Sheffield United are on this run, so it's a game I genuinely cannot call at all. Any result wouldn't surprise me probably on Saturday. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I look at records like 6 in a row, and I sort of see that as quite a good thing sometimes, because you just think that's not going to carry on. That's going to end soon. Maybe Dons could do that. It's not the best time to be playing them. Maybe at Bramall Lane, it was a good. I think you catch teams at good times, and it really affects the season. Maybe not this time, but
I just should be an interesting game. Maybe a draw if I'm pushed, but I just can't call it on Saturday. No, any result wouldn't surprise me.
Dons probably likely to be out without Stephen Gleeson after he came off his thigh injury against Oldham. I mean,
we know Darren Potter as well. I mean, they're probably going to have to put Smith in there. I can't think of anybody else or maybe Cole. Maybe Cole will start. And, you know, I really hope they don't drop Reeves into that central midfield player position because he's wasted there. He needs to be in that number 10 role, or at least as a winger, or you know, the sort of interchange. Reeves, Chadwick, and Powell are kind of interchanging at the moment. Reeves has to be one of those 3 for me. You can't put him further back because he's just wasted there to me. So as long as Reeves isn't there, and Reeves is playing in that number 10 role, or you know, interchanging or whatever. It could be an Ali and Smith partnership, or I don't know if Cole can play in that role. Maybe he can.
I think he can play across the midfield, I believe, Cole. So
I think I'd rather, as long as Reeves isn't in that role, you know, I think it's important to keep him further up the pitch, and Ali will be there. And but Dele Alli's played for the England 17s, I think. He's played for England, one of the England youth teams during the week as well. So you know, so he's going to be shattered by the end of that next Saturday. I think he was playing, on Monday night or training with them or something like that. So, you know, it really is now. It's almost like the run out of players to even get through the season now.
Yeah, and you know, players can't get settled in a position if they've been moved around all the time.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just going to be one of those. I mean, I think they'll do everything they can to get Gleeson fit for that game because I don't think there's anybody else. one of those.
Yeah, it should be an interesting game. Just finally, well done to Ben Reeves on his Northern Ireland.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Ball up another international Don, which is great to see. A cap for any country, any level is.
Made him in league.
It's a special thing.
Congrats to Reeves, congrats to Rizzy, and he deserves it as well. It's been superb this season for Don's 10 goals, and he's technically so good on the ball. It really is a pleasure to watch. So, absolutely, congrats to him.
Brilliant, great stuff. Enjoy the Sheffield United game if you're going, and we'll see you soon. Bye now.
Bye.